Today you're going to watch me paint this 3D printed gargoyle using a technique I've never used before, Verdigris, going from blank to this in no time. But before we jump into things, I should probably mention that this gargoyle was designed and printed by my good friend Pepito. I'm sure you're familiar with his content.
I'm the only 60s guy in the world. Tell me boy, I love you.
Whoopsie, that must be his alternate account. Pepito is a fellow customizer in the community. He has an Etsy and a YouTube. Go check him out and support him. For priming our gargoyle in black, I'm using Verdigris, specifically designed for airbrush. I really like this brand because of the fact that it is self-leveling. I always get a few questions about priming. Do I need to prime? When do I need to prime? What color do I prime in? Do I have to prime every single model? And I honestly answer, who are you and how did you get in my house? But in all seriousness, I use primer all the time, mainly because of the fact that it gives a really nice surface for my paint to adhere to. The primers I use are black, gray, and white. I only use black and gloss black for metallics and things that are going to be darker overall. But for skin tones in general, I usually use gray or white. Even if your end goal is a darker skin tone, I would say the darkest you should go in primer is gray, mainly because of the fact that it is really hard to build up tones from a straight black primer. The reason I'm opting for a matte black instead of a gloss black is because of the fact that there are not going to be metallics going directly over this. And the reason I'm using black in general is because of the fact that I really want dark recesses. Another great thing about Verdigris is that it usually dries in 8 to 10 minutes. So now we get to move on to... For the first color going over our black primer is Pro Acrylic Blue. I love Pro Acrylics paints because they're very silky smooth, but also they have simplistic names, like simple enough that you understand what they are, unlike Citadel. If this was Citadel, it would probably be like fresh baby unicorn's milk or something. It's kind of hard to see in this clip, but I am using a dry brush, but I'm using a dabbing method, not a dry brushing method. I decided to swap to a bigger dry brush because it covers more ground. That's pretty much it. I don't know the scientific name for this method, but let's coin it as the punch method. Different from dry brushing, but using the same type of brush. You want to wet the brush and not dry it off at all, and then just hit the model with it in succession, like almost like you're dabbing something off of the model. If you keep punching the model multiple times in the same area, you will cover a lot of ground with paint very quickly. It's a great technique to use on larger scale models like this. Now that our entire model is blue, we can... Dude, this is exactly what I was talking about. Technical Nilak Oxide. Citadel, what even is this? Whatever, this is the next thing we need in the recipe, apparently. Along with having really confusing names, Citadel also categorizes all of their paints very strangely. I bought this so many years ago. It's been through countless moves. I'm literally using it for the first time in this video. So I don't know if it falls under a wash, which is technically a shade, or a contrast, which is a speed paint. I don't know. I think this predates speed paints. So regardless of classification, it goes on very similar to a wash. So you just kind of apply it pretty liberally across the entire model, making sure that you're covering every nook, cranny, and crevice. And don't worry, it goes on wet, but it dries, I don't know, kind of crusty. I don't have footage of it just standing alone, but you'll get an idea of what it looks like dried in the next clip. Okay, for our next step, we're back to the realm of reality with Weapon Bronze by Warpaints. And if you do not have any of their metallics, they are really good. This is my first time using them. Honestly, overall, great experience. They're very shiny, or should I say metallic-y, without even needing a gloss black base, which a lot of metallics need. The recipe I was following called for a bronze, so I actually picked this up specifically for this video, and I apply it all over the model using a dry brush-esque method. I didn't dry off my brush enough. Probably at the end of the video I'll have a do's and don'ts section, because like I mentioned before, this was my first time ever doing this effect. So I recorded the process for your entertainment, and we're learning together. This is pretty much the final step, using Greedy Gold by War Paint. Using a dry brush, I'm only hitting the high spots that would really reflect light, like the horns, the shoulders, the tops of the kneecaps, things like that. Anywhere where light would hit first, that's where I'm touching with just a tiny bit of gold. But now that I'm looking at the footage, maybe I was putting too much gold. But we can cover that in the do's and don'ts section. This is what happens when you record your process. You look at it and you're like, what was I doing? And this is the result of me painting the Verdigris effect for the very first time. Does it look horrible? No, but does it look great? Also no. Since this is my first time, of course there were going to be some growing pains. Before we go further into the video of the do's and don'ts, I wanted to say if you like this sort of content, please don't forget to like the video, share it with those who need to see it, and subscribe so you stay up to date with all my content and tutorials just like this one. Also, a huge way to show your support to the channel is to check out my eBay. I have tons of accessories for Spawn and other characters designed by artists from all over the community, with an ever-growing and updating inventory. So if you like custom work, go check out my eBay. I'm sure you'll find out that it's more than just decent. Alright, back to the video. I think it's wise I go over the don'ts before I do the do's, so you don't make the same mistakes that I did. I think the first part I messed up is using too light of a blue. I think I needed to go one step darker than this, and that would have darkened the metallics, and the effect making it look more ancient looking. In that same ballpark, I think I need to use a darker bronze. It was too shiny and golden looking, so it just blended right in with the gold that we used. And since it was so similar to the gold, there was no real divide between the two, so you lose a level of depth there. And the final mistake, I think, is not dabbing my brush off enough before dry brushing. This sort of tanked the effect to some degree and made it lean more in the direction of golden idol than ancient statue. Something that has been buried for centuries and is finally being unearthed. That was the effect I was trying to go for, and I don't think I exactly achieved it. I know I keep saying this, and I'm not trying to defend myself. Okay, maybe I am a little bit, but this is my first time doing this, so what I did right, there isn't a whole lot, at least in my opinion. I think the primer I used is great. My technique on applying the paints was good up until we get to the bronze, and keeping a positive attitude throughout.
And hey, 2 thumbs way up for our leading lady.
Hey, you know what? Even though this didn't come out the way we wanted, I still had a lot of fun painting this. Overall, I think we just had to go darker with everything to make it come off less shiny golden idol and more ancient statue, like I was saying. I wanted it to look more weathered and decayed, but you know what? Oh well, it still looks super cool for photos and for posing. It's okay that we didn't nail it on the first go around because now we've actually learned something and we can do better next time. That's something that's super important for those who are just learning how to paint. I encourage you to try, and it's okay to fail. You'll only get better through trial and error. Hell, my skills have been developed over years and years of trying and failing. This was a ton of fun painting with you guys, and I hope you took something away from it as well. This should show you I'm still learning too, so let's keep learning together. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.